bell above the dusty glass door jingled softly as a small, skinny boy slipped into Miller's diner. It was the same time he came every afternoon, right after school, right before the evening rush, and always with the same shy smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. His clothes were old, his backpack was falling apart, and his shoes were so worn that the rubber on the bottom had thinned dangerously. But his eyes were full of hope. "Hey there, kiddo," Marla, the head waitress, greeted warmly as she placed a bowl of tomato soup on the counter. "You made it right on time." The boy nodded, pulling himself onto the stool. "Thank you, ma'am," he whispered, almost too softly to hear. The staff knew him simply as Eli. He never made trouble, never asked for anything more, never stayed too long. He always ate quietly, even gratefully, then disappeared before anyone could ask him too many questions. But Marla watched him closely. She saw how he licked his spoon like it was gold, how he held the bowl with both hands so he wouldn't spill a single drop, how his eyes widened every time she brought him a little extra. Bread, fries, anything. She had a theory, though she didn't dare say it out loud. Eli was starving, not in the he skipped breakfast way, in the his house had no food kind of way. But the boy never said, and the diner staff never pushed. "Eli, you need anything else?" Marla asked gently. He shook his head quickly. "No, ma'am, I don't want to be a bother." "You're not," she assured him, patting his shoulder. Across the diner, the cook, Tom, leaned over the counter. "We got extra chicken and rice today," he said loudly, loud enough for Eli to hear. "It'd be a shame to throw it out." Eli smiled, a smile too small for a child his age. Marla served him the chicken and rice in a takeaway container. He always took his dinner home instead of eating it at the diner. "Thank you," he whispered again. Just like always, he pulled an old hoodie over his head, clutched his backpack, and left quietly, like a shadow slipping out the door. But today someone else was watching. At the corner table sat a man in a charcoal suit, gold watch glinting under the diner lights. He had been quietly observing the interaction, his eyes narrowing, not with judgment, but with concern. He stirred his coffee, deep in thought. When Eli walked past him, the man noticed the boy's ribs visible even through the hoodie. He noticed the trembling hands, the backpack patched with duct tape, and he noticed something else. Fear. The boy walked like he was afraid to go home. The man stood, adjusting his jacket. "Marla," he called softly. She turned, surprised. She knew him, everyone in town did. He was Nathan Hale, the youngest millionaire businessman in the region. "I have a question," he said somberly. "What's going on with that boy?" Marla froze, because explaining Eli's story meant revealing a truth the diner had been quietly protecting for months, and Nathan looked like a man who wasn't leaving without an answer. Nathan Hale remained standing even after Eli slipped out the diner's door. His gaze stayed fixed on the fading silhouette of the boy trudging down the sidewalk with his head lowered. Something about that child, his gentleness, his fear, and the way he thanked everyone as though he didn't deserve kindness, pressed heavily on Nathan's chest. "What's going on with him, Marla?" he repeated, his tone firm but not unkind. Marla hesitated. She wiped her apron with trembling fingers. She trusted Nathan, but she also respected Eli's privacy. "It's complicated," she finally murmured. "Try me," Nathan replied, pulling out a chair. Tom, the cook, exchanged a glance with Marla. Then he walked out from behind the counter and sat beside her. "Eli's a good kid," Tom began. "Smart, quiet, polite, but—" He exhaled. "He's struggling." Nathan frowned. "Struggling how?" Marla leaned in. "His mom works 2 jobs. His dad left years ago. Some days she can't afford groceries. Some days the electricity's out. Some days Eli just doesn't eat." Nathan's jaw tightened. "He comes here after school because he knows we'll feed him," she continued gently. "We started giving him lunch, then dinner. But we're careful. He's proud. He doesn't want pity." Nathan felt a sinking twist in his stomach. "Why hasn't anyone helped them officially? Social services, school programs?" "We've tried," Tom said. "But his mother keeps falling through the cracks. She's trying her best. She's not neglecting him. She's drowning. And Eli's the one suffering quietly." Marla added, "He's terrified they'll take him away from her if he admits they're struggling." Nathan leaned back, stunned. All his life he had seen children suffer in documentaries, in charity videos, in statistics. but watching one quietly starve a few feet away from him. That was different. That was personal. His voice softened. Does he come every day? Every single one, Marla whispered. Rain or cold, he shows up at that door right after school. Same time, same smile, same hunger. Nathan rubbed his temple. How long has this been going on? A year, Tom said. A year. A child had been starving a year, mere blocks away from the wealthiest neighborhood in the city. Something inside Nathan snapped. Not in anger toward the diner staff, but toward the unjust world that allowed this to happen. I want to help, he said firmly. Marla blinked. Nathan, and this isn't just about money. I know, he replied. But money can solve the problems money created. Tom folded his arms. How far are you willing to go? Nathan didn't hesitate. As far as it takes. The diner fell silent. Outside, the sky darkened into a cold blue. Eli's small figure was long gone down the street, swallowed by shadows. Nathan grabbed his coat. Which way does he walk home? Marla pointed toward the old neighborhood by the river. Down that road, past the warehouses. Nathan nodded, determination burning in his eyes. Then that's where I'm going. And with that, the millionaire stepped out of the diner, toward the boy whose life he was about to change forever.